Welcome back to Satisfactory version 1. We continue our marathon week where we're getting ready to finish the game. In the last few episodes, we already did a lot. We started tier 9 with things like Mark 6 belts, with also this completely new building, the quantum encoder, and that one also over there, the converters. We started making a lot of new things, right? Trigons, for example, over here, fixed trigons. Started making excited photonic matter, dark crystal, and much more. In the last episode, we also advanced to the stage where we have now some portals. We're going to take one just now, but before we also did new things. For example, we did the fixonium over here in the back, which means that now we have nuclear facilities without any waste. We're producing, we're taking our uranium ore, then transforming into uranium rods. We're getting energy from this, getting some waste, transforming that waste into plutonium rods, getting energy from those plutonium rods, and then transforming those plutonium waste into fixonium, and then putting those fixonium into power plants. And that has zero waste. So yeah, let's continue today. The goal is to definitely finish, the last milestone of tier 9, to finish also the MAM, and to get into some pretty interesting advanced production like power shard, automating power shard, power matrix, and others. So yeah, as I said, let's go first into the hub and do the last. Maybe missing some use modular frames. We have 200 in reserves there. Okay, we have 500 trigons, 250 time crystal, 100 neural quantum processors. Okay, so I'll give it a second, and in the meantime, let's go into our map. There's a lot to be done. We have alien technology, power slugs, and sulfur. Starting with power slug, because there's only one, that's a pretty easy one. It takes 10 power shards, 100 time crystal, and 200 quartz crystal. And with this, we will unlock an actual production of power shard. So let's do this, and I will show you in a sec.
Research completed. Synthetic power shard recipe on...
Oh, sorry. Well, she was basically going to tell us something about it, but we can, in the quantum computer encoder, right, we can take some time crystal, dark matter crystal, and quartz crystal, as well as excited photonic matter, which, remember, basically means you have a converter next to it. We're gonna make dark matter residue and power shards. So this is pretty cool. But you may be wondering, why do we need power shards? What are we going to do with that? Well, this is linked to alien technology, and in particular this one here, the alien power matrix. I see we need 100 power shards, so let's get a couple. There's probably some in that building here, and if not, we can get, yeah, here it is. And while I'm at it, let's actually change the recipe to these guys, make a few more. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna be able, to do this alien power matrix, which will unlock something completely new. Again, this was not in the early access version.
Alien power matrix recipe unlocked. These disposable synthetic mimic artifacts increase power augmenter output by further stabilizing the Summersloop's connection to its energy harvesting location.
You grow shrines and engrave silent organs incompatible with the tapestry.
It is a beginning, far from an ending, a step in between.
Harmony.
If you say so. Basically, you may remember we built a couple of episodes ago now this building here, which is pretty big and pretty impressive. It does cost 10 Summersloop, right? And it had a really cool impact that it creates 500 megawatts, and it also boosts the production of everything else by 10%. But it also has an input. Where is it? It has an input for resources. Where are you? Here. It has an input of resources. So you may be wondering, what do you put inside? Well, you put those alien power matrix, and if you do that, this is going to jump from 10% to 30%. So we're definitely gonna do that. There's also a couple of improvements that we hadn't really done to the dimensional depot. Most of them, they cost quite a bit of of Mercer spheres, and they cost, some fluctuators. Good thing that we have both of them. So, I'm gonna do, this is upgrading the speed. This is again upgrading the speed, and you can see the speed
Dimensional upload speed increased. All of the kinetic and thermal energy released during matter conversion has now been repurposed to aid with dimensional shifting, allowing several parts to pass through, for free.
The window is beautiful. Have you tried making the door?
I assure you that would be a most unhealthy action for the Pioneer to take.
Well, that's not true. That's basically a portal, and we've done one. So let me do a few of these quickly.
Dimensional upload speed increased. The dimensional shift now no longer cares how complex the components of the original part are, and will save each part as a single collection of particles that can be instanced easily.
Grow shift the body chord flow cycle song of the 5-layered shallows to 8.
I'm
Makes
working on
sense.
it, but are you saying there is another layer? Is it a sensor limitation?
Deepen.
Helpful.
Is it? I don't get it.
Dimensional upload speed increased. Every particle now has encoded potential reconstruction memory for when any part using that particle is recalled, enabling instancing on the fundamental particle level.
You grow shifted the body chord flow cycle song of the 6th layer. Harmonious. Your cycle songs will only deepen the layers.
I'm always working on myself. The time will come.
Good to work on yourself. And yeah, we're almost done. There is one more stack here, and then this one.
Dimensional expansion finalized to 500%. Despite further efforts, parts could not be broken down further than their elementary particles, nor could the storage become more dense without the particles spontaneously reacting with one another and losing their deconfined state. Yet somehow more matter can now be stored in the same dimension.
We sang our growth song because we like your shallow efforts. Up and down our shallow illusion, up and down disappear in the deep.
That is very thoughtful, I think. I appreciate the attempts at sharing scientific knowledge, however perhaps we should wait until we have a more optimal way of exchanging data.
So she also doesn't get it. It's not just me. And at the final one, it actually doesn't cost that much. You can do it earlier. It enables not just, taking resources from the inventory, but also uploading. So basically doing something, let's say, which one do I want to do? I need to have those resources. Time fluctuator, right? I can take some and then put them inside if I do this research. Right now I can't. So yeah, let's do it. And that will finish the alien technology.
Manual depot uploader unlocked. Storage dimension and pocket dimension now connected both ways and stable. Parts can now be uploaded to the storage dimension directly from the inventory. Note: the storage dimension now understands the boundaries of the pocket dimension and recognizes the distinction between matter belonging to the Pioneer's inventory and matter belonging to the Pioneer.
The window within the window within the shallows within the deep, curling around itself separately, echoes strangely.
I'm sure strange is the correct term for what this must feel like to you.
Yeah, it feels strange to me too. But yeah, we finished all of them except sulfur now. A couple remaining here. This one will require also some encased uranium cells, so I guess we're gonna have to go to our nuclear facility. This one I can definitely do, right? I have rifle ammo and aluminum casing. I'm sure we have some in the dimensional depot. Here it is. And ammo is just behind me here. So let's take it quickly. It is this one. Yep. I think it was... Oops, that's a bit too much. I think it was 1000 that they were saying, right? So let's get it, and while I'm at it, let me... Ooh, no, wrong one. Let me take a bit of honing ammo to defend myself, because those enemies, they never stop. They never stop. And the night has set. Okay, so let's do it. Quickly, turbo rifle ammo. I still prefer my honing ammo, to be honest, which, by the way, was more advanced, I think. Right? What was it?
Turbo rifle ammo unlocked. The Pioneer ammo of choice when obstacles are numerous and time is short. Panic and imminent death often negatively affect human accuracy, so this ammo meets the human experience with fixed efficiency.
Love it. I'm gonna need some empty fluid tank that uses aluminium. I forgot to do that. And here we're gonna need some of these package rocket package fuel, which I have a bit of just because I found some on the map. And also 100 power shots. So we'll do that one after. First, I think it's time for us to finish this milestone 9 and unlock, basically the final thing, which I think doesn't make sense for it to be so
Milestone
far, but
reached.
anyway.
The Blueprint Designer Mark III allows for 20% increased blueprint size in all dimensions, for an overall 71.2% increase in volume. Sadly, I doubt we will see equivalent increases in your efficiency.
You may. So yeah, as I was saying, I know everybody complains about you want bigger blueprints and whatnot. It's like, I was actually fine with the first one. My problem with blueprints is more the fact that you have to put them into something like this. I'd rather have, blueprint in the sense of you build something and then you can select it and now you've created the blueprint. But going back, to this one, basically the fact that they put it so far into the game, into tier 9, just means that people create a creative world, they unlock that one, then they create their blueprint in their creative world, and then they copy them into their normal world, and then they start using it. But anyway, that was the last milestone of version 1.0 at least. Who knows what we'll get in the future. We haven't finished the MAM, but we should start these two production over here, right? So what I'm gonna do is I will actually take this out, and I hope that's not going to break my electricity. Let's check. Yeah, we're fine. But I'm taking it out, and we're gonna rebuild it in our hub, right? Because this way, because we're gonna have the production that is linked to it over here, so it makes sense, I think, to rebuild it there. Okay, so we know we're gonna need superposition oscillators that are this production over here, so that's why I made it just next door. And we also need other resources that were part of the final pack anyway, so yeah, that is why we're taking everything from here. We're gonna have 2 quantum encoders making each 7.5 power shards, so in total 15. I could go further, but 15 is what I need for this production. So this is 150% overclock. It's taking time crystal, dark matter crystal, quartz crystal, and excited photonic matter. Now the excited photonic matter, easy, right? We have a converter next to it, underclock, that's it. Then we have time crystal, dark matter, and quartz. So as you can see, the dark matter crystal is over here, the time crystal is over here, so that's easy. And then I added one more drawn quartz over here for time crystal. What I did is I went back over there. This was the first time that we had touch crystal over here, right? Quartz. I, updated it from a minor Mark 1 to minor Mark 3, put blueprint, and done. We're producing 200 of quartz crystal per minute. Easy. We send a drone, and the drone comes back, and we deliver, right? So the production, as I said, is 15 power shards and some dark matter residue. So you can see it in the back over here, the power shards, dark matter residue coming together into this pipe. Then it goes into one particular accelerator, as always, to make some dark matter crystals right out of this byproduct, and then we just send those dark matter crystals into the awesome sink. We could again, send them back over here, but for now, just sinking it. Now that we have those power shards, we go into another quantum encoder. This time we only need one, and this is gonna require 4 things again. Excited photonic matter, easy, that's this one over here, right? Then we have superposition oscillator, 15 per minute. This is the production over here, right? We're making 20 per minute, so that's all good. Then we have the power shard 15 that I just showed you, and then we will need 25 SAM fluctuator. The SAM fluctuator will actually come from this new manufacturer here, which hasn't delivered. Ooh, okay, there's a mistake somewhere. So we're gonna need to fix that. Basically, I guess I took the wrong thing. Okay. Let me just finish showing you this, and then we can go and fix it together. So we're gonna do this, deliver here, right? So this is going to make me 25 SAM fluctuator at 250% overclock, like 75 steel pipe, 125 wire, 150 reanimated SAM. So I created 3 new small production hub for this. We have the reanimated SAM is actually just next door. I did create a drone, but honestly, you could build it. It's very close. This is thanks to this normal purity of SAM here. And then I just did it over here. I think here you have one over there, right? This is for steel out of iron, and you have one that's over here for copper out of the copper ore. No, wire out of copper ore. So that's easy, and again, 3 drone ports, they deliver the resources, and that goes inside this one. This is going to create, as always, a bit of dark matter residue, so we're sending that one into this particular accelerator, and then into the same awesome sink. But more importantly, this will enable us to create these things here, power matrix. But before we put it on, let's go fix this. Now the good thing is now we have those portals, right? I've actually activated 3 portals at this time. We have still the one we're gonna take, which takes us to our main base, but we also have 1 portal to the nuclear facility and 1 portal to the big oil plant. Okay, so let's take this one back to the hub. It is. We are back at the hub. From here, let me take this out of the way. And as I said, I think the copper one is just in the back. Yeah, so I'll fly up there and see you in a sec. Rookie mistake, we connected this one instead of connecting here, basically. So it is, now we're bringing some wires, we're starting to make a lot of sand fluctuators, and so with this, alien power matrix are coming out. Ooh. So let's connect it here, and by the way, this is really the only thing you can do with it, so don't try to, I don't know, save it for something else. Your consumption needs to be linked to how many of these you want to power. And as I mentioned before, I think this is about 5 per minute, but we're gonna see it in a second. It has started, so it moved from 10% to 30%. So the boost is now 30,000 megawatt instead of 20,000 megawatts. And you can see the 5 per minute over here, right? So if you want one, you need whatever I showed you now. If you want more than one, you need to double all of this, right? More and more. And it is, look at the animation, so different. So the summer sloop is now providing even more energy than before. It is though a bit similar to what I said in the previous episode on Fixonium. The reality is, okay, this gave me 20,000 megawatts, but this is a lot of consumption, right? It takes a lot to make this happen. Obviously, you also need all of those things, plus whatever I've been using at the over here, plus basically most of these is also linked, to that production. So most people argue that, unless you have a really big production, this thing doesn't make sense. It consumes more than it creates. Now, the good thing is, I do have quite a big production, so I didn't do the exact math on my current production, but we're in positive. That's the important thing. So yeah, with this, we have finished the power shard production and power matrix. We still need to finish the MAM, and in particular on the fuel for the sulfur one. We need a few empty tanks, so let's take this one here. So we can go to the oil and for that production. Oh no, that's the right one. That's the right one. So we just go here, and I have some aluminum production. I think it's actually just in the back here. So I should have flown. Okay, so it is. Let's gather a bit of aluminium. Let's take over here 100. Perfect. We're gonna want to make tanks, right? So the empty fleet tanks. That's easy. It's in the constructor over here. So let's just place one constructor down. So we can semi-automate its production. Let's find it here, deliver all of this, and you just need to connect it to electricity somewhere. Where is the electricity here? Okay. So yeah, with this we're gonna start making a couple of tanks, and you can place a MAM anywhere. We can place a MAM here, because we have 10, perfect. And do that research, so sulfur, here, start the research. It's gonna take a second, let's see what Ada is gonna say.
Rocket fuel unlocked. Pioneers will be able to use rocket fuel in the fuel generator and any vehicle that uses fuel, including the jetpack, with appropriate results. Warning, mixing rocket fuel into coffee does not enhance its energizing effect.
Mixing with coffee. So yes, this is rocket fuel. As the name suggests, it is a fuel that is even stronger than turbo fuel in the sense that it packs even more energy. So you can put it into your jetpack and you're gonna fly high. I'm gonna show you that in a second. You can also put it in fuel generators. Where are my fuel generators here? Similar to my turbo fuel factories, right? You could do one there, and of course, as I just said, with the same amount of fuel, you would make even more energy. And last but not least, you can put it, if you package it, into your drones. Right? So all in all, as I mentioned at the beginning, this is something I could have unlocked before. And at that time, maybe it would have been interesting. It would have helped me to increase, for example, my production of electricity. But at this point, now that I have nuclear completely finished, it doesn't make that much sense. I will still show you, and we're gonna need to create a small production of it. As you can see, there's two ways to make rocket fuel. One is out of turbo fuel. So that's good for me because I already made turbo fuel, right? You just need to add some nitric acid. It does mean you need to have nitrogen unlocked, right? And there is a small complexity that it also creates compacted coal that you can reuse into this production or that you have to sunk or burn. There is an alternate recipe that's, basically it's the same stuff, it's just a bit kind of less steps. So if you haven't made turbo fuel, you basically have fuel and you have sulfur and coal. This is how you make turbo fuel. But now you just take it and, use that directly. Similarly, nitrogen is what you need for nitric acid, right? So it's sort of the same raw materials, but it is using kind of the basic ones. And as you can see, this is the same building, the blender, and also makes compacted coal. So it is, there's two ways to do it. As I said, if you are earlier in the game, you haven't really mastered nuclear, for example, at this point, and you want a bit more energy, that can be really great. Now I'm just going to make a bit of it so that we can unlock the final one, the ionized fuel. And actually, let's talk about it while we're here. There is two ways to make ionized fuel. One is you take the rocket one we just did and you add some power shard. I just showed you how to make power shard, right? It costs a lot of energy, and that's going to make your ionized fuel, and again a bit of compacted coal. Or you can, if you package it, you package the rocket fuel, you can add dark matter crystal. So in a sense easier, because dark matter crystal are part of the power shard for sure, and that's going to make your ionized fuel and your compacted coal. What's interesting is you take something packaged and you get something unpackaged. So I don't know where the packages went, but yeah, that's the point. Now again, similar for the ionized fuel, you can put it sort of in everything, in your fuel generators, in your vehicles, and last but not least, as I said, you can also put it into your jetpack. So let me show you. If I put the jetpack over here, here it is. With this rocket fuel, and ionized the same, you can go fast, you can go up pretty fast, versus now if I change it, and I say let's use solid biofuel first, I'm gonna go slowly, right? So that's the point. So it is just next to my turbo fuel blueprint, right? I've added a couple of buildings. First, we have nitric acid. I'm actually making nitric acid somewhere else in my nuclear factory, but I was like, nah, let's just redo it quickly on site. We have nitrogen gas, which comes from this big pipe here. I know it's ugly, I'm sorry. But it comes from just there, right? It's not far, water that comes from down and iron plates, right? So that's gonna make some nitric acid. This nitric acid will just go over here, and it goes also with the turbo fuel. We take those two things, make rocket fuel and a bit of compacted coal. The compacted coal goes into the awesome sink, and the rocket fuel goes into this packager with some empty fluid tanks that I just got manually. I guess we could put, you can just put a small drone port here like everything else in my factory. And yeah, with this we have made a bit of package rocket fuel, and so we can do the ionized fuel. Let's research it. Again, it's similar to all of these in that branch, right? It was the same for the compacted coal, the turbo fuel, and the rocket fuel. It takes also one hard drive, in this case also 100 power shard and 200 of this package rocket fuel. It needs to be packaged. Let's research it and see what Ada is saying.
Ionized fuel unlocked. The origin story of this extremely efficient type of fuel was so fascinating it resulted into a new joke. I will tell the most popular version. A cow, power slug, and rocket scientist walk into a bar. The rocket scientist wants a milkshake, and so transportation was forever changed. Any historical inaccuracies have been removed by the Fix-It Department of Historical Reinterpretation.
Historical reinterpretation. I love it. And we have only one left, which will require us to go to our nuclear facility. We're gonna do that in a second. And package, and done, and it is starting. We're gonna get some packaged ionized fuel. Let me get a bit more than 2. Yeah, let's get 4. Let's also take some of these, perfect, and let's do some tests, right? We're gonna put again this guy. We're gonna say first rocket. So this is rocket. We can go pretty high, pretty quickly. And then we're gonna fall to our death. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Then we can change it to ionized fuel, and let's see the difference. It's not so apparent, not as much as with the other, but there is definitely a difference. I'm going to show you the numbers in a second. But yeah, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We have done all types of fuel, and similar again to the previous one, right? This is maybe if you don't have nuclear yet, you may want to do those ones. It may be also if you really have tons and tons of drones, you may want to take these ones in. But personally, I feel like they are not good enough for the end game. I'd rather just do the nuclear. Okay, so let's take the example of the fuel generator, right, to look at some numbers. And if you look, for example, at normal fuel, it's 20 per minute, right, to make your electricity. Versus for the turbo fuel, it's already going to be only 7.5, so it's half. Going into rocket fuel, you divide that again, not exactly by 2, a bit less than 2. So you gain on efficiency, but not as much, right? This is really a big jump here. You have, you need 4 per minute. It is worth noting though that you need 60 turbo fuel to make 100 rocket fuel. So it is actually, more than double. And in ionized fuel, again, you decrease, but you don't decrease that much, right? And remember that you also need a lot of electricity to actually make this rocket fuel and make this ionized fuel. And in this case, you don't even gain, it's like you take 40 and you make 40. So I'm not going to go into all of the math because honestly, usually when I do, this is when I see a big drop in retention in my videos. But this is not worth it. Don't go into ionized fuel, rocket fuel, in my opinion. So with this, we have finished the final fuel, but there is one more in the MAM where we need to go to a nuclear facility. And by the way, I've tried to make sure that always those portals, they are never in a place, even in the nuclear facility, they are not in a place where there is radioactivity. So when I arrive, I don't immediately die if I don't have, the necessary equipment. But yeah, we have our uranium over here. I guess it's also a good time to take a quick check over here at how much, we still have. Remember, we used to have all of these full of uranium waste, all of these full of uranium waste with, containers, and we've already deleted many of them. This one is also empty, perfect. One more to take out. Oops, sorry about that. And this one, yeah, it's getting there. So yeah, we still have a few, but we're slowly but surely getting there. Now we need uranium encased. So let's take a bit of this uranium encased. I think it's there. Oh, not this one now. So, wait, oh, that must be up. Yep, it is here. Then this one. 24, that's a bit too much. That's okay if we can just quickly take it. Get the sulfur in, up. It's also 500 nobelis, so make sure that you're producing them automatically. And let's see what Ada is gonna say.
Nuke Nobelisk unlocked. This Nobelisk uses a nuclear fission reaction to generate a massive explosion. Ensure all Fixit employees are clear of the blast zone before detonation. You probably should not use this. I am not joking. No refunds available.
No
Side
refunds.
effects include glowing, growing extra limbs, liquefied skin, unexpected cravings for flesh, itching scalp, hair loss, finger loss, loss in general, indigestion, and flatulence. Please consult your weapons manufacturing facility if symptoms persist beyond the half-life of uranium-238.
She's crazy. But yeah, ladies and gents, we have finished all milestone, was from tier 0 to tier 9. We have finished all of the research in the MAM, and now it's gonna be time to finish the game. In the next episode, we have 3 more productions to do for those 3 phase 5 elevator parts. That shouldn't be too much. We have planned well, we should have all of those production ready. But yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be some problems we discover in the episode, and yeah, we're gonna be able to really complete this game. Thank you for watching, smash the like button, and I hope to see you next time.